Alright guys, today I'm working on the Dodge, and it's been a while, but it actually hasn't been a while. I've been recording videos in the background, but they're videos that I'm not uploading yet. So anyway, here's a video that will hopefully come out before that stuff comes out. But anyway, I am installing a cold air intake, ram air intake on the Dodge. This is by VRAM, and it's the Vararam Air Grabber. They actually they make a bunch of stuff for Corvettes and Camaros, like the older Camaros, like the 4th gen Camaros, and also they make stuff for the C6 Corvette. I think they make stuff for the C7 Corvette. They make stuff for the older Dodge, the 3rd gen Dodge. The 3rd gen Dodge is kind of like this, but except it's all sealed. It's got an acrylic cover, and there's 2 tubes that come out and actually go into where the fog lights are on the front bumper. Around the fog lights of the front bumper, and actually creates 2 ram airs that way. But then they got one for the 4th gen and the 5th gen Dodges. But yeah, and then that's what it comes with. It comes with the intake mount. It comes with this piece, which actually goes underneath the front like this to scoop air from the grill. Then I got a filter sock to cover the filter. And also bought some some seal. This looks like an updated version from the ones that I've seen. They've already drilled out these drain holes bigger than what they used to be. And they got some kind of flat down here. Some of the people that got them a couple years ago were talking about how it not sealing really good against the bottom. So they recommended getting some kind of foam so it seals better against the bottom. I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue, but that's something I'm going to keep an eye on. First things first is you're going to have to pull off your old intake system. And you're going to have to pull off your beauty engine cover. Your beauty cover, you know, whatever. And then take this off, because you will have to trim through this. You should have to, you know, just trim through there, then from there to there, from there to there, there to there, and there to there. Or you can kind of go in front of it. It doesn't matter. I'm going to start taking this stuff apart, which should be fairly easy. I'm going to have to figure out how to take it looks fairly easy. Looks like there's a couple studs here. So once you pull this off, which is an 8mm here for that clamp, 8mm there for that clamp, pull the intake air temperature off, and pull that out, and that should come up. Then this should just pull straight up, and then this comes off, and you'll put a filter for there. Alright, once you take the intake tube off, which is, like I said, 8mm there, 8mm there, and then you wiggle it off here, and then wiggle it off there, you can get the engine cover off by just pulling up in the front. It's got 2 little push tabs right there and there. And then once you pull it up, you can pull it back. There's 2 little push tabs there that push in back there. And then the engine cover comes off. Once you pull the engine cover off, you don't have to pull this off, but I went ahead and pulled the air filter cover box off after I pulled this PCV line out, which is, you know, just wiggle it and pull it out from here. This has a push tab here, here, and then there's one there, and then there's probably one there, but then you just work it in the back, work it in the front, and then there's the other push tab right there. So there's one there, and then one there and there. And there's a push tab there, you know, all there. And then you can pull this out. And the only other thing The only other thing, the only reason I'm putting this on is just so I don't drop anything down the intake. There's this piece right here that you take off, and then you put a little thingy in it, but I think this pulls straight up. It does. It pulls straight up. And then you're going to recycle this piece and put this on it. This comes with the kit. You can obviously buy any one you want. I am eventually going to switch this out to a black one. I'm going to buy a black Edelbrock one and switch it to a black one. But you won't see this. It's under the intake. But so I just pulled and twisted it off, and I'll put this to the side. Then now it's pretty much empty. So now you just have to pull this off, and then you can, you know, do what you want to. Some people I see keep this on. They pull this up, they keep it on, and they just put it on top, but it's easier just to cut it. You don't have to cut a big spot all the way through the front. You can actually just kind of lay the thing on there and just kind of cut around and only cut about that much, which is probably what I'm going to do. But you've got to get the intake on before you can figure that out. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the pop tabs, which is there, 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 and there. What I've done is I have come back here with a caliper, and I've come up here and measured. From the stud down, so I know how much. So I know how much I need to put these things back on after I put the filter sock on, and I'm going to go ahead and put some of this stuff on just in case. I'm going to put that on down here. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off and do that, and I'll be right back. Alright, where you can see there's already some kind of foam down here, which is better than I think what there used to be. I don't think there used to be anything down here, or it used to be worse than this, but you can see right here it gets kind of thin. Now, it shouldn't matter, because the way this seals, it should, you know, compress down enough, but this is actually kind of hard. So, well, I am going to go ahead and put a layer of this on here. Alright, there it is. There's the seam. It goes around in here. This is about perfect size. Filter should still fit fine and squish down the way it needs to. Honestly, it shouldn't seal here. It should seal here. And if it's tight enough, it should. But I know some people have had issues, so I'm just going to go and do that. And then these filters, they want you to clean out about every 8 to 12,000 miles. You need to clean it, and I'm guessing clean it and re-oil it. So, so I'll probably do, you know, a 5,000 or 10,000 mile interval on looking at it anyway. So, yeah, time to put the filter back on it, or time to put the sock on it. Before I do that, this is a Filter Wares pre-sock, or pre-filter, and it's Filter Wares F270, and they actually got, like, different colors. They got red, black, yellow, and I think that's it. And none of those other colors match the theme I'm going for. You can buy this kit with both a smooth cover for paint, a crinkle, you know, bedline type cover, or an orange cover. I bought the black cover because I eventually want to get it painted plum crazy purple, because I'm doing a purple accents, as you might recognize from my wheels. But anyway, I'll be back. Alright, well, I had to do that a little different. I had to put the filter back on, then spread the Filter Wares sock over it, and then pull it back off and put it around the edges. There's like no way to get this on with the filter that's just free. It moves way too much. The filter collapses and goes all over the place. So now I got all this done. I'm going to go ahead and swap my temperature sensor over to here, intake temperature sensor over to here. I'm going to put these 2 clamps on, and I'm going to tighten them just enough where they don't move, and then I'll be back. Alright, I already attached all this. Pretty sure that's the right way. It doesn't really say which way is which, but this piece, the rough spot's facing back, and this is facing forward. I think I've seen some people do it backwards, where they have the rib nuts facing up. And there is some washers which would, you know, probably make that work, but I'm going to do it this way, see if this works. I took the sensor out of the intake tube, which is a 1/4 turn. You have to take the sensor, turn it a 1/4 turn, and pull it out. And then I stuck it in through the hole here. Where the sensor is facing straight up and down, which it needs to be. Sensor needs to be facing straight up and down. I have the bottom clamp tight, the upper clamp just enough where it won't move. So I'm going to come and set the intake on top, and then don't set the intake all the way down. Move it up. Well, I'll show you. I'm going to go ahead and set it on, have it up, then close the hood, open the hood back up, and then tighten it down, and that gets a good seal on the hood. Before I put the intake on, here's the PCV breather. Go ahead and have that pushed in and clamped down with the provided clamp. And then that goes back here. Push down there. And I'm going to put that right there. That should be fine. I will change that out because I don't like the chrome. But that'll work for now. That's just a breather. Alrighty. You do have to put this with the rough face out and then put the 2 washers on it when you tighten it down. So you got the 2 washers, which still isn't really enough, but it at least holds it. It holds it, but push it backwards, put the 2 washers on, tighten it down. And then I got this in here. I got it as far up as I can get it, and now I'm going to close the hood, and then I can tighten it back down. And there it is, all down and tight. It's a bit tricky because there is this foam piece at the bottom. It makes it pretty tricky to get all that stuff lined up and tightened down. And whenever I take this back off, I'm moving the clamp to this side so I have more room to move the clamp and tighten the clamp down. Yeah, I got it and got it tight. You can tell it kind of covers most of the hood. There's a couple gaps there, a couple gaps there. It might not be all the way down, but for the most part, it's fine. Most of it's sealed off, so it's going to be fine. It should be fine anyway. Most of the air is going to be coming from the grill in the front. I will have to watch my transmission temps, because your transmission cooler is up here, and this essentially covers the whole transmission cooler. So when I tow, I might have to take that off, or I'm going to have to come back and cut some slots in here so it can both get air into the trans cooler but also move it up. But the only thing I have left to do is to put the shield on, but I want to start it up and hear what it sounds like. I don't know how well you heard that in the garage with my exhaust from my Flowmaster exhaust with the cutout, and an update on that Flowmaster dual flow mode, whatever FX series. I've had it on less than a year, and the solenoid, the actuator, is jammed. The actual valve on the exhaust moves freely, but the actuator, the shaft is seized. It won't move. You can hold on to it and you can hear it, and you can hear the motor inside trying to move, but the whole thing's just jammed up. So I got to try to see if I can warranty that out. But yeah, that's this. Now I'm going to go ahead and put that little front piece back on, and it'll be done. And then I can go down the road and see if we can hear the inside, but we might not be able to because I can't close my exhaust. But inside it's not as loud. And there it is. I could go more than that, and I might go more than that later. I don't think I'm going to go all the way down and cut all these out, though. That's a little much. But this gives, you know, a good amount. It could be more, but that should be fine for now. And that's it. That's how you install the Vararam Air Grabber Intake on a 9 to 18 Ram. The 19 and up are fairly similar. But anyway, I will, and it opens up a bunch of the engine bay. You now have this whole side open where you can mess with stuff and not have everything going on. So anyway, I will talk to you later. Bye.